Yoo-hoo! Good morning everyone and welcome back to STEM Punks. As you can see, my little host just here has come a little bit crook this morning, so you've just got me for the next half hour. So welcome back to STEM Punks, and this week is all going to be about Aviation Week. But before we get into that, we've got a couple of shout outs and a couple of winners from last week, Build a Robot. Now we did pick 3 and then we upped it to 5 because some of these designs were absolutely unreal. And we had people writing into us from 4 continents around the world. So for us, it was pretty cool to see. So those winners, you are going to receive a microbit. So let's have a quick look. We've got Oscars. It's Benny the bedroom robot. And I really enjoyed seeing this annotated picture. Benny, like that was so cool. You can see he's got little pictures down there. And he also took a picture of his prototype, which I really enjoyed. Josh's pet poo bot. Good grief. Yeah, you know what? I suppose it's not the best of jobs picking up poo. It definitely falls into one of the 4 Ds. So great job on that, Josh. And then we've got Michelle's lawn jaws. And it's really cool to see teachers are turning up because this is a great bot, you know, and we're going to share a couple of these through our social media channels. But I really enjoyed seeing that there is a prototype and a build, because that's all what we do. We go through the design thinking phase and then we have a little prototype. The next one we have got is Ben's Pet Helper Robot. Another cool robot, and I really enjoyed that you guys ripped in, made a little prototype for me and drew out what the design was going to look like. So congratulations, Ben. Awesome work. Let's click onto Eli and the SB2, Science Bot 2. Look at that design, absolutely incredible. And there was a lot of work going into that. So thanks so much, Eli, for getting there. And I hope you guys are going to be enjoying your microbit. So yeah, that's what's going to come your way. We've got your details and I'll make sure the production team gets across to you. And this week, it's going to be even cooler. Well, not even cooler, it's just a different kind of cool. We've got 3 of these to give away. Have a look at them. So the best designs, the most unique designs, the people that put in a great amount of effort, we're going to be sending you out some of these aeroplanes, these fixed wing aeroplanes. So they're pretty cool, and yeah, we've been flying them around the backyard a bit and it's been a lot of fun. Okay, let's have a brief chat quickly before we get into it. STEM, science, technology, engineering, maths. We also do a lot of the arts, okay? So we involve arts throughout all of our programs. And today we're doing that again. We're going to be incorporating drawing because we're going to be designing our own futuristic aircraft. Pew, pew, pew. Okay, first things first, step 1, I need you guys to go and grab a pen and a paper because we're going to do our quadrants again and we're going to do our design thinking. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to get that done. As you can see, step 1, set up your materials. You're going to need a notepad and a pen or pencil. Make sure you got that involved. I've got mine ready to go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit of we're going to find out why we're doing this. We're going to look at the history of aircrafts, because by knowing the history, we know where we can move forward with it. Okay, so this is going to take about 3 minutes. It's going to get your appetite going, get all those little neurons firing within your brain. So have a look at this and I'll see you in about 2.5 minutes. Pretty cool, right? What I really enjoyed is seeing the transition, you know, from the humble origins of a balloon and then to where we are right now, which we're talking about space travel. You know, so we can see that there is a pretty steep learning curve on how we've been designing our aircrafts and what they're all for. Because what your job is today is you're going to be designing your own futuristic aircraft. I don't know what that's going to look like. I made a little bit of a rough design on what I want mine to look like. I'm hoping yours is going to be completely different because your brain works differently to mine. So let's get into the design thinking process. And we go through, this is the process we like to do when we're designing something new, just so we can keep our kind of process the same. Okay, so number one, we're going to empathize. We're going to know the user. If I'm designing my own little aircraft, what am I designing it for? And then we're going to define it. We're going to understand the real problem. What is the real issue behind our design? And then we're going to ideate. And this is the step that we're going to get up to today. We're not going to get up to step 4. That's going to be with Big Cal on Wednesday. But we're going to get up to ideate today. We're going to elaborate and draft some designs. We're not looking for perfection. We're just looking for some cool ideas that we can start sketching out. And we can rub them out and we can change it up. Okay, so let's get on to step 2. Step 2. Now we can have a look at different kinds of aircrafts here. We've got a helicopter. What's a helicopter? I'm going to keep this screen up just for a little bit if that's all right. So we've got a helicopter on our top left. Now, what's a helicopter good for? How far can it travel? Why? I mean, the helicopters are really good for going up and down and kind of going, looking close to, you know, terrain or going down close near mountains. A plane, it's got a fixed wing aircraft that can cover a lot of ground. And then we've got a balloon. Balloons were the first kind of little aviation. So obviously we went through that in the history. And now we come down to the drones. Drones, what are they good for? You know, they're good for, you know, actually they're doing man-made drones before long, which means that obviously those people won't be flying those drones. I think they're in Dubai right now, actually. So what are drones good for? Are they going to be fixed-winged? Are they going to be rotary drones? Do they come up and down? Drones like that, like the rotary ringed drones, are really good for, you know, covering terrain that goes up steep hills like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide our page. This is the next step. We're going to divide our page into our quadrants. Now, what I want you to do is, if you can do what does it look like? Now, I'm going to do it in real time, so I know that you will be able to do that as well. How will it work? What will it do? And the last one is, how will it help humans? You might remember, if you went over and did the robotics, you might remember that this was the same kind of model. How's it going to help humans? Why are we designing it? Like, is it for fun? Is it for purpose? So I've got a kind of an idea on what I want mine to look like, but hopefully yours will be different. How will it help humans? Okay, by now you should have your page set into your 4 quadrants like that. Now, in here is your own little personal way on how you like to draw up your plan. Now, if you want to have bullet points on that, do that. If you like to draw pictures, do pictures. It's your own style. I can't tell you how you want to do it. I'm just going to give you ideas on what I would do. In my mind, what I might like to do is I like to draw little pictures, and I might put a couple of little bullet points somewhere. So if it was, what does it look like? Mine will look like kind of a balloon with a jet on it. It's just for a bit of fun. It's going to be mine's going to be a personalized aircraft just because that's what I want. I want yours to be completely different. How will it work? I'm going to find out that later on. I don't need to seek perfection because we're still nowhere near up to step 4. We're still up to step 3. What will it do? Now, my aircraft, for me, what I'm going to design is a personal aircraft. It's going to take me from where, like our little headquarters out in the bush, back into the city. So that's what my aircraft, I'm going to miss all this traffic. That's what my aircraft's going to do. It's going to be my own aircraft. I don't want anyone else to touch it. It's going to be Damo's aircraft. How will it help humans? Well, it's going to help humans because I'm a human. So there, what do you know? And it's okay. So what I would do is what does it look like? You might have a couple of, can we get onto that? Like that. Oh, perfect. I don't know what that looks like. I'm going to leave that one there. What will it do? Transport. Me. Transport me. So now we can actually see that there is different types of aircraft. But we don't have to have it looking like a standard one. You can incorporate a few different weird things. Because here's the thing, every new concept, every new aircraft, someone came up with it. And they've gone, oh, what do you think of this idea? And someone else said, I think it's all right. Let's give it a crack. And now that's what we've got. So who knows? My idea might be the perfect one for the next aviation ideas. I'm going to flick on a video to you guys because I want to just show you some different aircraft to hopefully get those creative juices flowing. So this one doesn't go for very long. During this video, can you keep writing down ideas and sketching up little things in your quadrant? And then we'll have a chat in a little bit.
This is not exactly a helicopter, or rather not just a helicopter. It's the world's first flying car. Yes. This is not a fantastic movie, this is the launch of the flying car era. The flying car price starts from €299,000. It's 302 feet long, which makes it 27 feet longer than the world's largest plane, Antonov An 225 Maria. It can stay airborne for up to 5 days at a time. It will fulfill a wide range of communication, cargo carrying and survey roles in both the military and commercial sectors. This is Airlander 10, the world's largest hybrid-designed airship built by British manufacturer for the United States Army. Until recently we couldn't see such fantastic things. All changed in 2016 when the Flyboard Air was developed. Agree that, this flyboard looks bizarre. It can fly with maximum speed about 100.
Thanks for the production team at the back as well. It says, yeah, do this, but do it your own way. So that's we're getting on to the next. We're going back and having a look at the design thinking. It does make me laugh though. So if anything, it does give me the giggles. So you're welcome, production team. You're doing great. Okay, so let's go back and have a look at the design thinking. So right now we've just done our quadrants. So we're still up to, we've gone through the empathize, define, and ideate. So when we're in the ideate phase, we're going to start writing down these crazy ideas. And remember, if you tuned into last week, we did the build in the robot. Now, we can write down all sorts of crazy ideas. When I'm going in doing live, this kind of sessions, I'd say to students, I want to see 20 crazy ideas. I really want you to think weird on it. Like, just go for broke and see what happens. Because you might have one idea that would match up to this idea down here and string them together. So feel free just to start writing down anything, and you can do that in your quadrant. You don't have to think that it has to be normal. Feel free to go absolutely crazy. Now, I'm going to start to draw up my own little design. Now, bear with me on this one. As we said in STEM, there is the A in there, and that's the artist, the artistic flair in me. We'll see what happens. Again, mine was a personalized air balloon jetpack thing. I don't know. I haven't made up a name, but if you've got any cool names for it, just send it in. Okay, so first of all, let's make I don't know what this is. Okay, it's like a, it's a balloon. It's a balloon. It's a balloon. That's a hat. Okay, so this is a hot air balloon. Oh, good grief, Damo. And hot air balloon. On here is like, look at that chin. It's got Jude's chin there. And almost looks like our production team. Look at that. Almost. Okay, so now on here, I'm pretty happy with that, how that's looking right now. Well, pretty happy is a big, I'm not too sure what to say there, but okay. That's looking all right. And behind, down here, like his arms, and down here is like a jetpack. Now, okay, so I'm going to just label that jetpack. Now, I'm not too sure about the safety of all of it, but that's not what I was after. I was after my own device. It's going to be a bit of fun. So, there you go. So it's going to be a jetpack that I'm going to be able to jet over to wherever I want to go, and then pull the hot air, pull the balloon chute, and I'll just sail on down nice and breezy. Look, again, I did my little design in about 30 seconds. Hopefully you can spend a little bit more time on it. As you can see, I love those annotations because the better your design is from the outset, the easier it's going to be for you to start building your prototype. And I'll talk about your prototype before we finish today. But remember, we're just up to step 3. So I just need you to start filling out your quadrants, doing your designs, and then drawing out your little drawing out your idea. Can we get on to the next clip? This one is just about a bit more of an inspiration about where aircrafts are going and aviation is going. So sit back. This one's pretty cool and gives you a bit of an ideas on what you could design. Okay, so I'll talk to you in about a minute. So off you go.
White Knight 2 is the world's first passenger-carrying spaceship operated in commercial service. For the first time, everyone has the opportunity to become private astronauts and experience the wonder of space for themselves. Space travel costs $250,000.
Okay, oof, back on. Okay, so now let's have a quick think. Now we've gone through and we've had another look about futuristic designs, which are really cool, seen space travel. Now we've gone back onto my quadrants. I should start to have a bit more of a think about how will it work. Now I've got an idea on it's going to have a jetpack that will fly me over, and the balloon, what was it, parachute or the balloon will float me down. Float me down. As you can see, these are my notes. They don't have to be perfect. They can be a little bit rough and sketchy and draw pictures. How will it help humans? And I'll draw a little picture down here. I'm going to draw all these little cars. And here is me, happy as Larry, flying over everyone. And there's all the traffic. So that you can see that I've incorporated pictures, bullet points, and notes. It doesn't have to be perfect. If anything, like having those kind of notes, having them all over the shop, it's a bit more fun. That's how I learn. Have a little bit scruffy. That's how I learn. Okay, so by now we've gone through our empathize, our define, and our ideate. What I really enjoyed is that during our ideate phase, we can have a good play around on our pictures. Now, if I start having to think about here, I could start to think, how else could I refine my design before I start to build up my prototype? What's it going to look like? I'm going to have to do a prototype probably in 3D, or also we're going to be doing our paper airplanes. In our paper airplanes that we're going to be doing our prototypes on Wednesday, I also am going to give you a little project to start doing like a launch pad. I haven't figured out my perfect design of that just yet, but it's going to be a bit of fun. So we're going to have a quick look at that in a second, but right now I want to quickly show you guys again what you'll be shooting for the win. If we can get that picture over. You can see these little ones are pretty cool. Obviously I wouldn't recommend that you fly them around inside too much, but this is a really cool little apparatus that you can fly around outside. You can modify it if you want. You can put some different weights on it just to try and get a prototype to see who can get the furthest. Okay, so let's have a brief chat about what you're doing for our prototyping on Wednesday. This is all going to be who can design the coolest and most efficient paper airplanes. We're having a lot of fun in the office trying to see who can throw the furthest. We will also be designing and talking about the difference between fixed-winged and rotary-winged aircraft. Now, if you think about what is a fixed-winged aircraft, well, I'll give you a hint. It looks like a plane, because it is something like a plane. It's got fixed wings. They're really good because they can soar, they can go over, right? But a rotary-winged goes a little bit different. Goes around like a helicopter. We're going to explore the differences between those two and also how the rotary-winged, we're going to make like a mini boomerang. This is going to be relatively safe. Again, don't recommend throwing it around in the house. Paper airplanes should be all right. Just talk to mum about dad about it. Anyway, so we're going to be doing prototypes with rubber bands, and then on Friday, we are going to be building a motorized paper airplane. Now, okay, everyone's going, oh, right. It's true. Like, we're going to give it a crack anyway. So pretty much how it's going to work is we'll build up a paper airplane. We're going to have controllers on it, and you'll be able to steer the paper airplane around. And I don't think, like, the equipment that we're always using is going to be stuff that you should be having lying around. Definitely for the launch pad and the paper airplanes and the prototyping for Wednesday, you'll have all that stuff at home. Well, like paper clips, rubber bands, and paper. That's all you're going to need, okay? But hold tight for that one. It's going to be a really fun lesson. And we've also been throwing a few little mini boomerangs around, so it went all right. It went surprisingly well. Callum caught one out of about 1,000, but they call him Butterfingers for nothing. Okay, so let's have a look on how you can get in touch with us again. If we screen over, you can get in touch with, if we've ever gone over too quickly over the concepts, get onto stempunks.com. This lesson is free. You'll be able to download it. You can check it over again. You can play it in your class. You can play it at home or any time that's convenient for you. You can look it on your phone, tablet, or the monitor, whatever's going to be easiest. Right now it's being streamed from YouTube, and it's going to be saved on our Facebook group as well. And if mum or dad's on LinkedIn, they're coming soon on LinkedIn, all those kind of other social media channels. Okay, so you've got a project to do. I need to see your quadrants. I need to see your quadrants. I need to see an annotated picture. Lots of time and design. And then on Wednesday, it's prototype time with, I don't know, paper airplanes. We're going to find out how it's going to work on the day. I'm going to have a play around with them this afternoon. If you've got any comments, a big shout out. We've been having some messages from people from Texas. Jude, Luke, hey, g'day. Thanks, they've been coming in. And we've also got a message from Tomo in the UK. So thanks very much for those guys coming in. And Brazil, and so we're all around Australia. So thanks heaps for those comments. We read them all the tweets, or the messages, or the comments, or the emails. We read them all in-house, and we try and get back to everyone as soon as we can. If you send us in a cool little pic like that, and you want to do this hashtag at STEMpunks or at STEMpunksAU, we will probably put it up. We'll try and get it up on our story on Instagram, and we might put it on our feed and that kind of stuff. So everything that we send in, we look at, and we try and make it so it looks like whoever's going to be the coolest, make the most effort, we're going to send you a little prize. How about that for my first time running solo? Self 5. Thanks, Joe, for coming in. You were really great. Thanks for the chat. Hope you feel better soon. You're welcome. Anyway, from me, have a great week, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. See ya.